K-pop supergroup BTS is now touring North America after wrapping up concerts in Europe, with more than a dozen concerts scheduled across the United States and Canada throughout August and September. For more on this, we're joined today by Professor CedarBough Saeji, Assistant Professor of Korean and East Asian Studies at Pusan National University. Professor Saeji, thanks for coming on today.
Nice to be here.
So we're seeing North American cities across the United States and Canada actively embracing BTS from, temporarily renaming a street in Toronto to BTS Boulevard. What does this tell us about the evolution of Korean cultural influence across North America?
I think it tells us less about Korean cultural influence than that localities recognize the scale and importance of a BTS concert. It's actually not unusual for North American cities to roll out the red carpet for a major event, like a big name concert, a festival, sports finals. And so we're seeing that BTS is recognized on this major level. And I was particularly struck by a video of the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, welcoming BTS and Army to Baltimore. A lot of Americans are familiar with Baltimore, but it's not a major destination. And I saw the governor's actions as genuine excitement that BTS was giving Maryland a chance to show off its charms to Army from around the US and the world. And I found his personal video address where he said the names of every BTS member with correct pronunciation, quite charming. If I was an Army and I was getting ready to go there, I would have felt warm and sincere, and it would have prompted me to be more interested in learning about and seeing more of the city and state while I was in Maryland.
Right, and the economic impact is also very significant, with 4 sold-out shows in Las Vegas in May. It generated an estimated $340 million in economic activity. So when we talk about the economic impact of BTS, how much of that goes beyond ticket sales and directly benefits local businesses?
Well, the majority of it does, really. Most fans who travel to a show in the United States are from outside that city or that region. Some are coming from abroad, and they're going to have to stay in a hotel. They're going to be eating in restaurants and using transportation options like Uber or other taxi services because they don't know the local transit system. So it's also very natural for them to visit local sites, such as sites in Boston if they're going to the Foxborough shows before they return home. I also, when I went to the show in Busan, I saw so many Army travel to shows with their friends or family members who aren't attending the concerts. And so they combine one night at the concert with a longer local family vacation. And so it really does end up benefiting the locality so much to host one of these concerts.
Right, and to what extent has this global popularity of BTS and K-pop influenced how people around the world perceive South Korea itself beyond, music and entertainment?
Well, as a professor of Korean studies, I've been seeing the influence of K-pop for years in the classroom. People are showing up, they're really eager to learn more about Korea. While not all K-pop fans can enroll in my classes, a lot of them are trying to understand the culture of origin of the artists that they're enjoying. Being a K-pop fan astronomically raises the chances that someone is also checking out other cultural products, including dramas, films, literature. And it can mean that they are enrolling in Korean language classes or using apps to try to learn the language. And they start paying more attention to Korean contemporary affairs, even international diplomacy. So these fans aren't necessarily learning in an organized manner like a university student, but they might encounter a how to make japchae video made by a fellow fan one day, and then learn more about Korean skincare the next. And when a controversy arises, like right now, there's this dust up around the actress An Ha-young, then fans start to learn about things like collaboration and Japanese occupation of Korea. Tomorrow, they might learn about Gwangbokjeol, Liberation Day. So ultimately, compared to when I first moved to Korea in the mid-1990s, when most people just knew Taekwondo, kimchi, maybe the '88 Olympics, the knowledge of Korea that's held by K-pop fans today is much more extensive and sometimes quite nuanced.
Right, absolutely. And BTS said they're not going to submit any music for consideration at the 2027 Grammy Awards. Does this suggest that BTS and perhaps K-pop more broadly has reached a point where recognition from traditional Western institution is no longer as important as it once was?
Yeah, I think a move like this is so significant because the Recording Academy, they clearly expected BTS and other Asian artists to continue to nominate themselves for Grammys, even while this new award category that they made kind of reduces the meaning of winning a Grammy. And it just didn't occur to them that an artist, a major artist like BTS that can draw audiences to the telecast would just choose not to participate at all. You know, because BTS is such a major group, it really does expose the fact that having an Asian pop category feels like excluding artists from desired awards, not making room for new artists, as the Academy would like to say it does. You know, the Grammys have benefited so much from ARMY viewership in the past, and I'm sure they thought they would get it again. And now here's BTS saying, we don't have to pander to Western validation. And I find that beautiful. I think this is a smart move for BTS. BTS is so big that winning a Grammy only means what they themselves think it means. And so they can say, we don't need this external validation. We don't need you to tell us the value of our music. As long as we like it and ARMY likes it, we're good.
Right. All right, Professor Saeji, thank you so much for coming on this morning. We appreciate it.
All right, have a great day.